Welcome to MD Muhindi, and my name is Mutari. I am super excited about this episode. We are going to talk about challenges facing biracial children or even adults in this country. The late Joseph Suzat Murubi was Kenyan Minister for Foreign Affairs and second Vice President. He was an active member in the Kenyan political scene. At that time, even participating in writing Kenya's first constitution. Joseph's father was a Goan Indian heritage, while his mother was the daughter to the Laibon of Wasingishu. As much as there is a rich cultural heritage for an Afro Asian to be proud of, most face identity crisis and lack of acceptance. As was the case of Murumbi, he struggled to find acceptance in both his Indian and African families. This is a challenge that most mixed-race Kenyans go through on a daily basis. I am excited to be joined on this show today by Sabrina and Sean, and these are young adults, biracial young adults of Kenyan Asian heritage, and they are going to share with us their experiences. So join me as we have a wonderful discussion together on this very platform. And by the way, if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. MD Muhindi, Facebook, Instagram. Like us, follow us on Twitter. Let's have this great conversation together. Thank you very much. Welcome, Sabrina and Sean, to MD Muhindi.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for accepting to be on this show.
It's a pleasure.
And I understand that you are biracial children.
Yes.
That is children from Afro Asian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yes.
And tell me more about your background. Who among your parents is the Indian or Kenyan? Let me start with Sabrina.
My mom is from Maharashtra in India, Aurangabad,
Wow.
and my dad is from Kenya, he's a lawyer from the sides of Masen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Growing up as a biracial children, where did you grow up? Maybe I give this question to Sean.
Basically, we lived in Embakasi, the sides of Donholm. Yeah, then recently just came to Parklands.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Beautiful. And well, as biracial children, so what kind of food do you eat? I mean, in your homes, do you eat the famous ugali and sukuma? And tell us a bit more.
We mostly eat mostly Asian cuisines, dishes,
Wow.
because that's how mom has brought us up with. But once in a while, when it is there, we'll have ugali and skuma, and we'll have githeri, yes. So
Okay,
yeah,
let's do
cool.
this. Now let's do this. Sean, let's
Yes.
start with you.
Yes.
So what is your favorite Indian food?
No seme yangu.
No, okay, fine. One thing that I really love is chapati, and with now the blend of the lower side chicken.
Hey,
So that combination
is it a Kenyan chicken?
Could be. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Amazing.
That blend just kills me.
And your favorite Indian?
Mine,
Let's go.
yes.
Yes, tell me.
My favorite is my mother's biryani. I love her biryani, and it's
Oh,
mutton,
I
not
see.
even chicken, not even
Hey.
vegetable. It's just my mom's mutton biryani, Indian style.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful. You know, when you step out in the streets of Nairobi,
Yeah.
people wouldn't know that you're actually Indians.
Yeah.
You know. So how do people see you? I mean, when they look at you, can you tell me, maybe Sabrina?
When people see me, most of the time they think I am a Somali or a Muslim because of how my hair stands out. Actually, my hair is the one that stands out. But once they ask, and I'm like, no, I'm an Indian, they go, okay, wow. They go get surprised and stuff. So, but yeah, that's how I'm actually pointed out. Yeah.
And Sean,
Yes.
you know you have very creative haircut. So does your hair also stand out?
Well, that's my plus point. And yeah, But now the added tribe that people mistaken us for is Ethiopian also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people will just come and approach me and ask me, "Are you Ethiopian?" I'm like, "So what makes you think that I'm Ethiopian?" Then they say, "Your hair." I'm like, "No, I'm just half Indian, half Kenyan." So then they're like, "You go to Ethiopia, you would fit in perfect."
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So let's talk about your experience growing up as biracial children.
Yeah.
And I will start with Sabrina. How has your experience been? Maybe you want to tell us more?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. My experience has been interesting and just on a different level, because growing up, people would, at first, they would, you know, they will mingle up with me, because actually my skin color is not as the same as my brother's, but they'll mingle up with me and they'll talk to me. But later on, when they come to know I am Indian, because at first they won't believe, they'll think I'm blind, and but until they see my mom, they'll know that I'm an actual Indian. And others will tend to pull away. They'll either try and, I don't know how to, they'll distance me, and but others will be, will be legit friends, and they'll stick by me, because why? I have an Indian friend. What do you have? Well, that's what they used to do in primary school anyway. But in high school, I think so. In high school, where I studied, we had Indian sisters, because I was in a Catholic school.
Okay.
So, but I think there it was not much of a big deal, because the Indians were there. So I think so it was like a normal thing for me to be there. So they didn't really much, do as they did in primary school.
Amazing. Now, Sean,
Yes.
it's you had mentioned to me earlier that your experience in high school wasn't that too nice
Yes.
because of your background.
Yes.
Could you maybe shed a bit light on that?
So I went to high school in Don Bosco, Embu. It was a Catholic school.
In Embu?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I can say that it's a setup where they would see Indians only in movies, but not in real life.
Oh.
Yeah. So going there, all eyes were on me because I was the only Indian, and I can say that there was a lot of skill sets that I learned there, even shamba work. That's a value added skill that I got up, and it was really good. Now, how I got treated in high school was very different. Number one, on the basis that other people would segregate me just because I'm Indian, and then others would accept me for who I am, and that's this circle of friends that I had. And with that, I would really get a lot of weird vibe from people that just because you're Indian, you don't fit in. And so I used to get that a lot in high school, and it was an eye opener for me that despite being multiracial, and with that, it wasn't my fault actually.
Yes.
But it's just that it's how people react, how people would view biracial children.
So, still on you, Sean.
Yes.
So, how has it been now that you're an adult?
Yeah.
Do you still find people reacting differently when they get to know that your mom is from Indian and your dad from India and your dad is from Maseno? How is it now compared to high school days?
As of now, it's not necessarily a big deal on how people would view me.
Beautiful.
Because it's a matter of if I am to become friends with you, and if you change your perspective about me, then what is there for us to actually bring on the table? So there would be no I can see that there isn't much of a change, but at the same time, I know how to filter my friends.
Okay, so this is really interesting. Sabrina, so at home.
Yes.
So what language do you speak at home? Do you speak English, Swahili? Tell us.
At home we speak all three: Hindi, English, and Swahili, depending on depending on how you want to communicate or what you want pass through. But yeah, growing up, we have exposed to all three of them.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
so I can't really say I'm biased to English or Swahili or even Hindi, but we all speak three of them.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. And all is influenced, as you mentioned, because you stay most of the time
Yes.
with your mom.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. This is very interesting. How do you identify yourself as a person? Yes. Now that you are in between the two very different culture, how do you identify yourself?
Most of the time, I'll identify myself as an Indian because I love my mom and we stay mostly with my mom. We don't stay with dad, so mostly of the time I'll identify as an Indian. But when circumstances come, I have the advantage to be like I'm Kenyan. But
you are a Kenyan,
okay,
obviously.
yeah.
You are a Kenyan.
Okay, in terms of, let's say, local, I'll be Kenyan, international, I'll be Indian. When times, when depending on the situation. But most of the time, I'll identify as Indian.
Well, that's the advantage of being a biracial
Yes.
children, because then you can identify yourself with both races,
ways,
whether
yes.
Indian or Kenyan.
Kenyan.
And what about you, Sean? How do you identify yourself? Is it different from what Sabrina has just said?
Yes, it's actually very different because
I see.
I don't have a liking towards either of the sides, so I tend to stay in the middle. Yeah, so I can be now here if I'm having, let's say I'm with my Indian friends, they might pick the Kenyan side of me, and while I'm with my Kenyan friends, they might pick the Indian side of me. So as a matter of fact, if I am among Indian friends, I would just be myself, and they say that this is Kenyan of you to do, and it doesn't bother me. So I like both sides, but I'm not biased to either of them. But I appreciate the attributes from both sides, and I am who I am.
Okay.
Yes.
This is beautiful. And so you've both been to India, well, at some point, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. You want to tell me more? Maybe start with you, Sabrina.
We went to India around 2011. I was in class 6 and Sean was in class 5. And we went for about 2 weeks there, and it was a beautiful country actually, very beautiful from what I remember. And the food was just amazing. So when we went there, okay. My mom's family is actually Indian Muslim, so we went about the time of Ramadan. Now that time, so when we went there, there are all forms of street food and stuff like that. So it's just enticing because they'll fast the whole day and then at night they'll come and open shop vendors and stuff like that where we live now. So it's a beautiful sight. But when it comes to going out and trying to, let's say, explore the places, I wouldn't necessarily go out the way I am. I will dress because I'll get a lot of criticism. So I will dress like a Muslim. But like 2-3 hijabs, I will wear hijab, and I will go out. I will mostly wear Indian. That you wear
Sari?
Not sorry. I can't wear sari. I was still small.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I would wear different attire that is for Indian, and I would wear the hijab, and I would go. Yeah, but yeah, that's how it was. But I wouldn't step outside. Even playing with the kids, that was actually kind of difficult because once they see me, they'll see the color and they'll be like, "Oh no, it's just no," and then they'll just, yeah.
Amazing. So maybe this one will be to you, Sean.
Yes.
Among the Indian community in this country, how have they viewed you too? Has there been a general wide acceptance? Because obviously they look different from you. Though you are all Indians, of Indians of Kenyan. I mean, Kenyans of Indian background. How has it been among the Indian community? Because you stay in Parklands.
Yeah. One thing I can say is a character of Indians is that they're aggressive. They like to contain themselves and probably stay in that caged box of theirs. Let me just say it like that. So where I school, there are Indians, and I do have Indian friends. But now their view on me I can't necessarily say that they view me as a Kenyan, but instead the way they've lived around Kenyan, they see me as part of them. Yeah, they don't see me anything different, and they haven't treated me otherwise. Yeah, so in the Indian community, I understand because my mom is Indian. I understand now that regressive character of Indians, and with that, I can actually now befriend Indians. And so befriending them, you can find that they have a lot more than actually who they are in terms of character, in terms of who they are. Yeah, so that's just it.
Yeah, I personally have seen them as amazing people.
Yeah.
And what about you? Any experience different from that of Sean among the Indian community?
Where mostly when I'm out with mom and Sean is not there, they'll have a different perspective. So first time meeting, let's say I we go, let's say, to an Indian shop or an Indian supermarket, let me put like that, and there's several Indians, and they see me for the first time, it'd be very different because they'll think I'm either there to, help my mom carry luggage or stuff like that. They won't really think that
You're
I'm
a daughter.
a daughter until my mom says, "This is my daughter," and she's my firstborn, and they'll all go, "Wow, this is your daughter," and stuff like that. Then they'll start talking in Hindi, thinking that I don't understand. That's why, and then I don't know what, they start saying, "Oh, you sure this is your daughter? Why is there a difference?" and stuff like that. But yeah, so I think so it just comes like a surprise. But once they find out I'm actually my mom's, they'll be a little bit welcoming, but because of the color, they'll still a little bit, yeah, it's separate, and they'll talk mostly with my mom, and then I'll be just left there understanding what they're saying.
Amazing. Interesting.
Yes.
As we bring this show to a conclusion,
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a famous quote which I want to read to you and obviously our audience, that says, "How wonderful and pleasant it is when brothers live together in harmony." So, viewers, I believe that you've enjoyed this conversation. Let me hear your comments. On our YouTube page, Facebook page, Twitter page, and let's keep having this conversation as we embrace each other in this great nation. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Bye.